This video takes us into the harsh but fascinating world of American king crab fishermen in the Alaskan Sea. King crab, an expensive and precious seafood, is not only a symbol of luxury on the dining table but also the result of hard work at sea. From giant traps, the huge crabs are pulled up from the cold seabed, bringing not only economic value but also a manifestation of the fisherman's perseverance and spirit to face challenges. The video emphasizes three main factors: the hard work, the natural resources that the sea gives, and the undeniable value of this fishing profession. The images in the video take viewers to the ordinary but meaningful moments of the fishermen as they work among the fierce waves. With ice blocks floating around, we can feel their tireless dedication. Life on board is not easy, as the fishermen face freezing temperatures and work long hours without rest. Each cage pull-up is a real test, as the fishermen inspect each crab, sorting them and deciding which ones to keep. The video shows the process of catching king crabs in detail. Each cage is specially designed to ensure that king crabs can be caught efficiently. The fishermen have to work with absolute precision as they lower the cages into the deep sea. After waiting for a certain amount of time, the cages are pulled up, carrying the huge king crabs. The process of collecting and preserving the crabs right on board requires skill to ensure that the crabs remain fresh until they reach the consumer. The working environment at sea is never easy, and the video clearly shows the challenges that the fishermen face. From cold weather, ice and snow covering the boat to huge waves that can knock anyone off their feet, danger lurks everywhere, from using heavy equipment to unexpected situations when encountering rough waves. Not only that, climate change is also affecting the king crab resource, making it more difficult to maintain the profession. The Alaskan Sea is not only home to rare marine species but also a symbol of abundance and biodiversity. In particular, king crab, one of the most valuable natural resources in this region, has contributed greatly to the economy. This resource not only serves domestic consumption but is also an export commodity that brings great value to the US economy. Although their work depends heavily on the abundance of natural resources, they also understand that sustainable exploitation is necessary to ensure the future of the industry. Marine resource management measures in Alaska, including crab catch limits and fishing season regulations, are important policies that help maintain ecological balance and long-term resources. Alaska's seas provide not only king crab but also many other resources such as fish, shrimp and other seafood. For fishermen, each trip to the sea is not only an opportunity to earn a living but also a way for them to connect with nature. The sea, with all its beauty and ferocity, is always an indispensable companion. But besides the abundance of resources, the sea is also a great challenge that fishermen must overcome. King crab is not only valuable economically but also a symbol of luxury in global culinary culture. With its large size and delicious meat, king crab is considered an expensive dish, often appearing on the banquet tables of luxury restaurants, and is a sought-after specialty. This has made king crab fishing an important industry. Important, not only in Alaska but all over the world. The economic value of king crab lies not only in its high market price but also in the complex supply chain from sea to table. Fishermen not only catch the crabs but also participate in the preservation and transportation to ensure that the quality of the crabs is not affected during the process from boat to kitchen. After being caught, King crabs will be packaged and stored at the right temperature, then transported through many countries before reaching consumers. This requires precise and professional coordination from all stages. One of the important factors that the video has depicted is the complex and challenging supply chain of king crab. Immediately after being caught, the crabs must undergo careful processing and preservation. Measures such as flash freezing or storing live in specialized containers are ways to ensure that the crabs retain their freshness until they reach consumers. The king crab market is huge, stretching from the US to Asian countries such as Japan, Korea and China. In these countries, king crab is considered a luxury dish and often appears in high-end restaurants. Because of the high demand, king crab fishing has become a global industry, with the participation of many parties from fishermen, manufacturers, distributors to international supply chains. A touching element in the video is the images of the sacrifices of fishermen. Life at sea is not easy, and each trip can last from several weeks to several months. This means they have to be away from their families for long periods of time, missing important moments with their loved ones. Not only that, the working environment at sea is very dangerous, with the risk of accidents always lurking. Fishermen often face bad weather conditions, big waves, and challenges from using heavy equipment. Moments when fishermen sit together, sharing small joys like a hot cup of coffee in the freezing weather, or smiles when they pull heavy traps onto the boat together. These are humane moments, showing the camaraderie and solidarity between fishermen on the boat. They are not only colleagues, but also friends who fight together to overcome the harsh challenges of nature. The life of a fisherman is not only limited to sea trips. When returning to the mainland, they have to face the reality that their work may not be as highly valued by society as other jobs. Although they have a stable income, the mental sacrifices, especially the separation from their families, are always a great mental burden for them. However, their love for the sea and the pride in bringing back valuable seafood have made them continue to stick to the sea, even though they know that each trip always has the potential for unforeseen risks. The value of king crab fishing. Fishermen are not only exploiters of marine resources, but also protectors of the sea. Ensuring that these resources will survive for future generations. King crab fishing is not just a job to make a living, but also a manifestation of courage, perseverance, and love for nature. Feeling of gratitude towards the fishermen, who have endured all hardships to bring the world great seafood. The video also emphasizes the importance of protecting natural resources, not only to maintain the profession of fishermen, but also to protect the marine ecosystem for the future. After the arduous and powerful images of American fishermen catching king crabs, the video transitions to another scene, showing a different but equally harsh fishing industry, herring fishing. Images of giant nets being cast into the open sea, where hundreds of tons of herring swim and create currents under the water. Take viewers into the vibrant and bustling world of fishing. Unlike the traps used to catch king crabs, herring fishing requires the use of giant trawl nets, a method that requires not only skill but also coordination between members of the crew. From the preparation process, the nets are carefully checked to ensure there are no errors that could cause the herring to escape, to the precise release of the nets into the location of the fish schools. The nets are skillfully cast into the sea, covering the giant moving schools of herring. The experienced crew of fishermen precisely navigate the boat, monitoring the flow of fish while also monitoring the speed and position of the net to ensure a large catch without compromising the quality of the fish. The image of giant nets filled with herring being pulled onto the boat is one of the impressive highlights of the video. Hundreds of tons of fish are harvested in just one haul, showing the abundance and richness of Alaska's marine resources. Each herring sparkles in the sunlight, creating a scene that is both majestic and poetic. While the nets are pulled up, the fishermen quickly get to work sorting and processing the herring right on the deck of the boat. The fish are transferred to cold storage tanks, where they will be kept at the right temperature before being brought back to shore for processing and export. Herring fishing, while not requiring the heavy equipment of king crab fishing, still presents its own challenges. The large nets, laden with fish, when pulled onto the boat, not only require muscle strength but also require dexterity in controlling and pulling the net effectively. The sea, once again, is never an easy companion. Big waves, strong winds and even the risk of storms always lurk, making the work dangerous. However, in the video, the joy of the fishermen when witnessing tons of herring being harvested spreads through each frame. It is not only the joy of the seamen when completing the job, but also the pride of bringing back a valuable resource for their families and communities. Like king crab, herring is a valuable resource of the Alaskan Sea. The herring fishing industry not only meets domestic consumption needs but also exports to many countries around the world, especially Asian countries. However, herring exploitation requires strict and sustainable management to ensure this resource is not depleted. In the video, it can be seen that the fishermen are serious about complying with regulations on protecting the marine environment. They not only consider the sea as an economic source but also a natural resource that needs to be preserved. Measures to protect the marine environment, from limiting the amount of fish allowed to be caught to reasonable fishing hours, are all applied to ensure that herring will continue to reproduce, grow, and provide food for future generations. The footage of herring fishing with large nets also emphasizes the deep relationship between fishermen and the sea. Despite facing many challenges, their love for the sea, perseverance, and dedication have helped them overcome all difficulties. The sea is not only a place to make a living, but also a place where they find a spiritual connection with nature. The moments when they pull the net together, sharing the joy when the net is full of fish, clearly demonstrate that this transition not only adds depth to the fishing story, but also gives viewers a comprehensive look at the different fishing methods that Alaskan fishermen employ. From large herring nets to king crab traps, each method is unique in its own way, and each contributes to the rich mosaic of the local seafood industry. Turning to the economic side, the video shows the importance of herring to Alaskan coastal communities. Not only is herring an important food source for humans, but it is also a key ingredient in the production of fish oil and fish meal, products with high export value. Herring is a key link in the global food supply chain, helping to sustain many marine animals and providing nutrients to consumers around the world. The herring fishery has become an economic mainstay for many fishing families. Especially in rural Alaska, many people depend on herring seasons to maintain their annual income. Not only that, fishing ports have also thrived thanks to the activities of catching, processing and distributing fish. This industry has created thousands of jobs, from crew members on fishing vessels to workers in fish processing plants. These jobs not only provide income but also create economic stability for coastal communities. In the video, viewers will see footage from herring processing plants where a series of steps from sorting, processing, packaging to exporting are all carried out professionally and efficiently. The products of canned herring, fish meal, and herring oil flowing from these plants are not only consumed domestically but also exported to many international markets. From Europe to Asia, sustainable fishing and protection of herring resources. The video also focuses on the importance of sustainable fishing in the herring industry. This is not only the responsibility of fishermen, but also a vital factor in ensuring the continued existence of this valuable marine resource. Herring, with its rapid reproduction and large numbers of fish, seems to be an abundant resource. However, uncontrolled fishing can lead to long-term negative impacts on the marine ecosystem. In recent years, stricter management measures have been applied to protect this resource. Fishing quotas are set based on scientific research, ensuring that herring still have time to reproduce and grow after each fishing season. This not only keeps herring stocks from being depleted, but also protects other animals in the marine ecosystem, such as salmon, whales and seabirds, which depend on herring as an important food source. In the video, the fishermen also share their awareness of protecting their resources. They understand that overfishing not only threatens their income but also the habitat of other marine species. Sustainable measures, such as using nets with appropriate mesh sizes to ensure that only mature herring are caught, or limiting the number of boats allowed to fish during peak seasons, have been implemented to keep the industry viable in the future. Challenges and pressures in herring fishing. In addition to the exciting moments when the nets are full of fish, the video also clearly depicts the difficulties that fishermen face. The sea is always changing, and the fish do not always appear in the right place at the right time. The dependence on natural factors such as weather, currents and herring habitats puts a lot of pressure on fishermen. A failed fishing season can seriously affect their income and their lives. In addition, maintaining boats and fishing equipment poses financial challenges. Boats need regular maintenance, fishing nets need to be replaced, and fuel costs are rising. Fishermen face not only natural risks but also financial pressures to keep operations going. The video also shows the passing of knowledge and experience between generations of fishermen. Young fishermen learn from their fathers how to operate boats, cast nets, and predict herring flows. These are valuable lessons, passed down through generations, that help them gain a deeper understanding of the ocean and how to exploit resources sustainably. This connection not only helps maintain the herring fishery, but also helps fishing communities in Alaska maintain their identity and traditions. The video gives viewers a sense of appreciation for how traditional values are still preserved in the modern era. While combining advanced technology to optimize the fishing process, the transition from king crab fishing to herring fishing not only brings diversity to the video content but also emphasizes the richness of the Alaskan seafood industry. Each fishing method has its own challenges and values, but in general, they all require perseverance, love of the job and awareness of protecting natural resources. The herring fishing industry not only brings great economic benefits but also contributes to maintaining the ecological balance of the sea. Alaskan fishermen are not only resource exploiters, but also protectors of the sea, ensuring that these resources will continue to exist and develop for future generations.